Hello. Good evening. Comedian George Mason here live and in full effect, baby. Uh, yes. Tonight, what I want to do, I want to go over a few things and I want to promote myself, basically. Yeah, I want to talk about what I have coming down the pipe as far as I got some show, I got some major stuff. I'm actually like, say, auditioning for or I have a resume written in the whole that, but I like originality. So along with my podcast that I have, the George Mason Show, and with my partner, the Money Marv G Money Show. You know, listen, I got chops in the comedy game. Yes, I do. And but yeah, I got some. I'm up for consideration for some things, and I just want to say what I've done, how long I've been doing it. I've been doing it for over 30 plus years, and I've worked with some incredible people. Dionne Warwick, Sinbad. Dionne was, I did 1,800 seat. I was in SUNY Binghamton with her in the auditorium there. Sinbad, I did several shows with him, 2,700 seats at the Palace Theater in New Haven, Connecticut. And the next night we were in Springfield, Mass. That was 2,500 seats and 4,000 seats at Big Birch, upstate. Give me a big up for that. Yeah. So, but you know what? Those shows were great. It was terrific. And Dion was a little tough for me. He's a singer, opening up for singers, and they come to see her, and it was a little tough for me. I'll be honest, straight up and down, because I have the tapes, I have all the receipts and everything like that. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But with Sinbad and work with Martin and Trey, Bill Bellamy, Kevin James, and working with Jackie Mason, Soupy Sales, Frank Gorshin. This generation might not know who I'm talking about, but Google these people and they're heavyweights. They're major. But yeah, so but working around and doing things along those lines. And like I said, I'm up for consideration for some stuff, for some major stuff. And I'm no slouch. I can get the job done. It's no question about that. And here on the George Mason show, I promote positivity. That's the theme that I got going here. And I do some bits every now and then, not even sketches and stuff material. My whole thing, I'm an old school comic, and I write. I have material. I write every day. Well, and I have memoirs. I have a book coming out down the chute. The ball is still on the 9 yard line. Tell me about it, George. Because I used to play football player, star, well, D1 material, a running back, and so and it was an incident that happened. And so that's the memoirs, but I'm not even going to go into that. I'm not going to give that away. But I have that coming down the pipe as well. And also tonight, I wanted to acknowledge with O.J. Simpson passing, the Juice. I said the football segue right into that with OJ because Juice was an incredible football player, and whatever happened after with his wife, unfortunately, uh, OJ was always guilty in the court of public opinion. Never really had a chance there, even though he was found innocent in a court of law. The public wasn't buying the fact that OJ was innocent or said he was innocent. Now, in my opinion, do I think he did it or do I think he didn't do it? The jury's still out on that. For that, I can't say definitively one way or another. I love OJ as a football player. I don't know him, never met OJ as a person, so I can't comment on that. Yo, what up, Romy? Jerome Allen, Rome. Uh, Rest in peace, OJ and Mr. C's. Yes, and Mr. C, our DJ. And yo, man, it's just incredible. You know, the more you live, just how things just jump off, man. You know, people passing away. I mean, when Jim Brown passed, that was it's rough, man. Because Big Jim, and I did meet Jim. I did perform for Jim at the Cotton Club back in the day, and messed around with him as far as like Josh and him playing. He laughed, I got him going and whatnot. But yeah, that was an honor when I seen Jim come into the club. You know what I'm saying? It was like he's bigger than life, or he was. And then OJ, that kind of hit me kind of hard because I didn't know he was sick or anything. You don't hear about these people, their lives and whatever. But OJ was that man back in that day, man. The Hertz commercial. Remember jumping over the plane, the airport. That you can always identify, and he acted. He did his thing that way. And did he kill his wife? And did he kill Ron Goldman? I don't know. They said that he was there. He knows something about it. He had a hand in it. It's all these speculations, if you will. But again, as I say, I don't know, and I'm not gonna pass any judgments on that. I just wanted to say rest in peace. As Rome pointed out, Mr. C's also passed. Uh, and it's incredible. But yeah, I'm doing not an audition, because my stuff is as I said, I do material. I have over 2 hours of material, and these people, that I'm in consideration for several jobs, some good stuff. So, and I'm up for the task. Like I was just saying, 4,000 seats, 2,500 seats, 2,700 seats, 1,800 seats. I worked for a lot of the Shy Lights, Rochelle Farrell, John Lucian, at Club Benet. It was a dinner theater, 750 seats out in Perth Amboy, New Jersey. And some great gigs. Gato Barberi, Jerry Butler, Shy Lights. And I did Gorshon. Gorshon was a Vegas act, but he was someone, Vegas hotel. And I caught him at a smaller venue. When I say smaller, several hundred seats. And Frank usually works, as I said, he does casinos. He did casinos. And so it was a pleasure. He taught me a lot. I've done TV, I've done the Apollo, and my old friend, good friend, he taught me a lot about the business. He was on TV for like 50, 60 plus years, Joe Franklin, huh? Good friend of mine. Joe, as I said, Joe kind of took me under his wing, and he was a very approachable individual, the longest talk show host in history, past Johnny Carson, past Jack Parr, past Steve Allen, all these cats. A lot of people, I know you generation don't know who I'm talking about. Google them. But I come from an era where you had to have chops. You had to, it was about paying your dues, putting time in, putting work in, not just getting up on stage and talking. And listen, that has its place too. And the way things are set up now, with the advent of these platforms and social media and stuff, it's easier to make it. Back when I was coming up, you paid your dues. You worked at tough clubs. You worked at Terminal D's in Jersey, huh? Those Jersey cats, when I say Terminal D, they know what the hell I'm talking about. That's a rough room. And this is harder than the Apollo. I played the Apollo. And Terminal D, man, is uh, probably probably tougher, man, because it was smaller and them cats they were brutal there, man. And there's no joke there. So I did those rough rooms. I played the Disco Fever on Jerome Avenue, here, Rome, in the Bronx. I was doing the time right after Crush Groove came out with LL Cool J, Run DMC, the Fat Boys. Yes. Uh, yo, that was hell of a spot. Talk about another rough room, the Fever. That was like a crack had just first came out, and you could walk in the club and you smell the crack. They was literally smoking crack in the club. No bullshit. And it was a hell of an experience. They had what they call the gong show. They would gong your ass off if you weren't funny. It was just one of those situations. And I went there, and it was yo man, it was a hell of a challenge. You had Barry B, you had Millie Mel, and them cats, and Mr. G was the host. You had Mr. Magic in the back. I went in the back, met them and stuff, and parlay kicked it for a little minute. I was just coming up back then. I was only 6 months into it when I went there, and I was going by the name of King George, huh? That's what my handle was back then. And I had to hit him with a joke. I had him, and I fucked around. When I realized I had them, I tripped over my own. It was a joke, just a jokey joke. It wasn't material, but and I got their attention. And when I stumbled, I faltered, and the crowd, they jumped all over me, B, and they gonged the shit out of me. But and I came back the next week, and I knew I had a little something because the security wanted to, like, yo man, what was that? What was that joke, man? Well, they was amped. So because I didn't get a chance to finish it because I fucked it up. But anyway, so well, yeah, they wanted to hear what this, they remembered me. They was like, yo, man, da da da. You had a little something going on or whatnot, and got into a little beef there. But sometimes that comes with the territory. It's before all these people jumping on stage and all this other crazy shit that's going on now in the comedy world, where people just will violate you because they feel they can, huh? But yeah, you just always gotta, my man Rome there, he's a stand up and comedian and coming up and doing his thing. And I wish you all the best. Much props to you, young brother, no doubt. Just keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, I work with Tracy, uh, Jerry Butler, as I said, Buster Rhymes, I did, Ice Cube, uh, Brand Nubians, Jackie May, yeah, Kevin James, uh, mad people. And I want to give shout out to my guests, my previous guests, prior guests, and I have some upcoming guests as well of noteworthy recognition. Yeah, I had on Gerard Washington. Okay, Gerard's an actor, he's a comedian. He's doing his thing still with these. You see Gerard on CSI and the FBI and all these other shows and stuff like that. And Gerard is also a world traveler, scuba dive. Gerard does it all. I had Eddie Prather. Eddie's another actor. These are all friends of mine. Gerard is, would cite Eddie Prather, Eddie P. Prometheus Prather. Give Eddie a big round of applause. Eddie's an actor, a comedian as well. Eddie was one of the first black that was on soap operas back in the day. And he paid his dues and coming up, and still he's in SAG and works whenever he, I guess, chooses to. He's in Marietta, Florida now. And Eddie was in that movie. It's it's a classic called Warriors, huh? I don't know if y'all know about that, whatever, but Eddie did that, and yeah, it's a hell of a movie about gangs and stuff. It's like if you catch ever seen the West Side Story. It talks about the Puerto Ricans and the Irish gang. They don't say Irish Westies, but that's who they kind of based that on. The beef that those cats had back in the day. Yeah, so Eddie, and then I had Chili Most, who was a comedian actor. He was and a writer, Chill, part of the legendary group, the Most Brothers, and they played Vegas, Atlantic City. Very, very funny cats, man. Seasoned professionals. Everybody that I've stated here are pros, are professionals. And Rick Overton, huh? Rick did that movie Groundhog Day. Yes, Rick Overton is a national headline comedian and an actor, seasoned vet, Stone Cold. You heard? And he's got his own special that he did on. It's still on Prime, Amazon Prime's called Rick Overton's Set List. Check that out because it's very, very funny. And also, it goes to, he gives you what improvisational style comedian is. He does that, but Rick is so seasoned and so quick and sharp on his feet. He's got those type of chops where he can do that, and that's what that whole movie is about. Well, actually, it's a comedy set as Rick Overton. I had Rick Allen, who's also a headline comedian and writer, and a good friend as well. Kevin Jordan, Kevin, huh? Kevin's my buddy. We went to school together, and it's just it's amazing how life will, you know, hand you certain gifts, if you will. Uh, you don't know how this thing is going to turn out. When you're young and you're in school, how who's going to what direction and how you're going to meet up if you do meet up later on in life. And Kevin was one of those cats. And Kevin actually, him and I played football together. We went to Bayside High School. That's the same high school that our mayor, Eric Adams, went. Yes. Yeah. Shouting out Bayside High. Went to Bayside, Kevin and I. Kevin was a good ball player, actually. We just had so many backs at that time that Kevin didn't really get his props or his due, man. But Kevin was slick. Him and his brother Vance Jordan was on the squad as well. Vance was older than me. Kev was, I think, a year or two younger than myself. But yeah, Kevin has skills for sure. But he's also a very skilled and talented comedian as well and screenwriter. Kevin, to his credit, has two screenplays. One is called Sled Race. Yes, and that's up for some awards. He puts his stuff in the festivals, and it's up for consideration to be produced, to be made. And more props to you, Kevin. Wish you all the best with that. And he's also got another screenplay called Old Patrol, and these are good. Some something that's needed now. I'm not going to give it away or anything like that, but it's needed. I'll have Kevin back on if he's available, if he's still willing to come back on, and we'll talk about it. That he talked about it the last time that he was here, and he also has a one night stand. At the last check, had over 8 million views, and it's called. Of course, I said so. Yes, Kevin Kevin Jordan. Go to his page, Google him. As I said, very talented, skilled comedian. I don't know how many views this thing had. Maybe might have 10 million views. I'm not sure. And George McClain. George is an actor, writer. He's very close with 50 Cent. He was in that movie with 50 where 50 fired him. Um, it's not Get Rich and Try. Before I Get Rich, it was the one where he was working in a store. Forget, and I should have wrote that down. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about, huh? But yeah, George McClain and Danny Simmons. Danny is Russell and Reverend Run's older brother, Danny Simmons. Give Danny a round of applause. Danny is an abstract artist and a philanthropist. I had to say that word slow. Would have fucked that up big time, huh? But yeah, Danny Yeah, he's Russell and Reverend Run's brother, and Joe Simmons, Reverend Run. I don't know how much of a reverend he really is. Again, he got Reverend Al, Reverend Run, and there'll be Reverend Rome soon, right? Why not? Reverend George. I was always thinking of the seminary, to go into, because religion is very fascinating. A lot of different religions throughout the world. Or Alexa, how many religions are in the world?
Here's what I found from Rawl.com. There are more than 4,000 religions in the world.
Wow. Thank you, Alexa. Alexa, thank you.
Anytime. Literally.
That's my sister. That's my girl. She says there's over 4,200 religions throughout the world. It's deep. And everybody feels that they're right. And you know what? Maybe everybody is right, or maybe everybody's wrong. It's a matter of how you're looking at it, from what side, from what angle. It's like any type of debate or argument. You know, everybody is right to some degree in their own perspective, because all you can give an opinion is from your perspective. And respect the other person's views, their opinions, or on do it like that. But you're only given what you feel is right, your interpretation, if you will. It's like religion. You can look at one scripture, 10 people, and get 10 different interpretations of that same scripture, and that happens a lot. It's a little confusing sometimes. Sometimes it's a lot confusing. But they always say two arguments, two debates you stay away from is religion and politics, right? Because it's just going to be, you're going to go down a rabbit hole and try to dig your way out of it. If you're arguing and going back and forth, it can get, complicated. So avoid that. It's like these arguments now with this transgender situation, if you will, and nobody, the arguments are on one side. The boy wants to girl, the girl, just this female. Well, she's female now. She's a male and she's boxing. She got knocked out in 21 seconds. Huh? Yeah, 21 seconds. I think she was 3-0 before she stepped in the ring with this last opponent that knocked her the fuck out. You heard? And yeah, so you got these guys, man, 6'4". Now they couldn't, make it as a male playing any type of sports, basketball. This dude was on a girls basketball squad. He's six, he's running down the court. His nuts are hanging out. He didn't even make to have the surgery. And you know what I'm saying? He says he's got shoulders. He's in this, this. I don't know why they tried to the girls tried to suit him up, and come on, man, you could he should be on the football squad. Feel me? He should be out there banging with these, really. Come on, man, you want to be on a female basketball squad, and come on, so it's crazy. This transgender in the bathrooms, they got the transgender. You don't know what's what. They got the thing, the signs. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are fucked up, and the way things are out here now. You know, I say it straight. I stay blunt. We're twisted. So it's a matter of like I don't know, man. Dwayne Wade and Will Smith and Magic Johnson. This, but again, there's just so many different misinformation and mixed signals, if you will, that these young people have to deal with and go through. I feel sorry for. I feel bad for them. They don't have the music that I had when I was coming up. The old school stuff, the Motown sound. That shit settled you. It had a soothing effect on you. Even the hip hop. Hip hop had, they were saying something. You know, Kool Moe Dee, LL, Big Daddy. They was had lyrics. They laid it down. And if you notice, these guys still are out there. They still got bars. Okay, You know, even Heavy D and them cats. Father MC, I'll go back there. You know, Chub Rock. Huh? Yeah, Kwame. Yeah, so it was just a different day back then. Kendrick Lamar, he's nice. J. Cole, you got some cats, the Amigos and stuff. That was another thing with the collaborations, you know, with Public Enemy. You had Up in the Bronx, right? Boogie Down Productions, uh, right? Where they collabed. You know what I'm saying? The Amigos are the only group in this generation that I know, you know, on that order that had some type of collaborations, you know, and my condolences to one of them that was murdered, that was killed, you know, rest in peace. And it's just so young cats, man, that making money and still angry or miserable or whatever. Some of the rappers, you know, and when we lost Pac and we lost Biggie, and I don't know, man, but yo, bro, yo, young bloods, keep your head up, man. Keep doing what you're doing on a positive side, trying to make it, but still, I keep your head. If you understand where I'm coming from, don't let the fame and the fortune, the money, like you know, twist you all out and lose focus. That's the other thing. Maintain your focus at all times. All right, if you can, stay positive with that, and keep your faith. Keep God first and foremost. The Most High, Jehovah God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Keep that in your life. But my grandmother, you know, the old school folks, man, they had you in church, and I don't know if they. I go on internet, right? When I go to like Instagram and stuff, and all these females are shaking their ass, and you know, it's just wow. That's our earth. That's our queens, princesses, our young princesses. But they want an easy way out. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to struggle. Nobody wants to grind anymore. So unfortunate. You know, they feel they can sit in a room and make money just, you know, as these shorties hit me up and say selling content. You know, they want me to cash app them. And I'm not the only one. And I know if they do, you know, if I'm getting hit up like that, it's like this is a common thing for the most part. So, but again, um, I don't know what to tell these females and stuff like that. But I don't know how the dating scene is, the dating pool. You know, these young men, what they have to go through to try to just, you know, uh, have a conversation, not even to try to get a piece of ass. You know, I don't because they're fucking these dildos, they're fucking these machines now, these females. You know, they don't even really need us, men. You know, I see them sitting there and they're you know, in their rooms and stuff like that, and got these men. Now, how do I know about the machines? Somebody told me. Let me stop running. No, but yeah, and you know what? It's just like I said. It's sad. It's all the game is all fucked up. Uh, Kevin Jordan, George McLean, Danny Simmons, Calvin Whitfield, Coach Whitfield. It's my boy. It's another one I know forever. I know Cal. Uh, it's another incredible stellar football player out of New Rochelle, Westchester County. He went to Westchester High. He actually coached Ray Rice, and he played at Westchester. He's Hall of Fame out of New Rochelle High School. Also, he's a Hall of Fame running back out of Rhode Island University. Cal Whitfield, Coach Whitfield. He coaches Jamaica High School, and I was working with him as well. Uh, you know, doing my thing as a backfield specialist, and the backs that I coached and coached them up, um, led the city in scoring and then rushing, you know, several years and stuff like that. So, you know, I have knowledge in that area as well. Like I said, I was an all city running back, and my junior year at Bayside, D1 candidate for sure. And I just didn't have the knowledge and sophistication that these young kids have now, as far as internet and somebody to school them and take them. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, Cal Whitfield, Coach Whitfield, and he also wrote a book called Paradise Lost. Give him his props. And Jim Roberson is a coach and author. He's got a book called Youth Minded, the Discipline. Well, that's a video. That's his organization. That's his business, Youth Minded. And Jim also wrote a book called The Discipline Coach. And Jim is also an alumni of Rhode Island University, DB. And Jim is a good friend of Roger Goodell. Yes, he is. He went to high school with Roger at Bronxville, and he became tight and the whole nine. And Jim now lives in the United Kingdom, in Portsmouth, UK. And had Ricky Jason on. Ricky was a protege of Dick Gregory, the great comedian and great community activist, Dick Gregory. And Ricky is an advocate. He's in so many different fights. One with Christopher Shaw, and he had a did a great documentary about Ricky's out of Beaumont, Texas, and it was something that happened in Jasper, Texas, about 1996, about a black man that was dragged behind a truck, the racist ass uh, rednecks, crackers, if you will, dragged him to his death, man, chained him and put him behind the truck. And so Ricky did a documentary. He had a lot of activists, Sharpton come down. He had Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Doc. I know I met Doc back in the day. He was at that time the leader of the new Black Panther Party, and he used to be Minister Farrakhan's special national assistant. I met Doc at the Cotton Club. I actually did an audition for him. Phyllis Stickney used to date Phyllis. They used to be together. For him, Lamont Baker, called Chucky Chuck, and Mr. Beatty, the owner of the Cotton Club. That was my audition for them back in the day. And I got the gig, and I was opening up for Phyllis, Yvonne Stickney, huh? And Phyllis is still doing her thing. Phyllis is still relevant, still gorgeous, very funny, and a terrific actress. And that's when I met Jim Brown, and I was opening up for her at the Cotton Club. Yeah, but Ricky Jason is a terrific advocate, and he could sing too. If you close your eyes and you hear him sing, it sounds like Smokey Robinson. And I had Belinda James Trotter. Belinda James for Blown, Woofer. She's a media queen, and several other magazines that she did. I'll come back and give you that at another time. She wrote 4 books. Well, she's an author and terrific. And Chucky Chuck, I say Chucky's in the Witness Protection Program, but that's just actually what it was. I know Chuck as Lamont. As I said, I auditioned for him, Mr. Beatty, Doc, and Phyllis at the Cotton Club. And I know Ms. Lamont Baker from Uptown, from Harlem. And then hadn't connected with him in years. And I seen him on Facebook, hit him up, and long story short, he's doing this thing called the platform Springfield Day. And so I went. He invited me. He's like, yo, geez, good to see you, B. Put you down and da-da-da. So when I went out there, I'm looking for Lamont. Now, Chucky Chuck, the name, you know what I'm saying? It didn't really, still didn't. I'm like, Chucky Chuck. What? When I got there, and I'm asking people like, yo, where's Lamont Baker? They're like, nah, B. You sure you got the right address? I'm in the park, right? And then I see him. I see Lamont. I said, oh, there he is. They said, no, that's Chuck. That's Chucky. That's Chucky Chuck, man. Ain't no Lamont, you know. I'm like, get it right. So I went over. I was like, yo, Chuck, you know. I said, what's going on, Lamont? But I saw his cousin first, Lee. I said, yo, Lee, what's up, Lamont, man? It's Chucky Chuck. I said, what? Is Lamont in the witness protection program or something I should know? The Fed's not going to run up in here, right? And he started laughing. No, George, you stupid. You still fucking crazy. Whatever. But yeah, so that was the story with Lamont Baker, Chucky Chuck. And he was with the Rapmatic 5 back in the day. He could spit. And I was shocked. I actually see him get up there and spit. Yeah. So Rapmatic 5, and I call him a producer extraordinaire because we did a lot of stuff uptown at Sugar Hill. We had a couple of spots. Not only the Cotton Club and stuff, we had something called Nefertiti's up there in Sugar Hill on 50, I think it's 58, coming down on that side over there. But yeah, so we had a lot of gigs. I did that gig with him at the Armory, where he had the Ice Cubes and the Brand Nubians and the X Clan. Yeah. That shit was wild. It was like 12,000 people there. I didn't even mention that. I'm doing for these shows, these people want to see, can I handle a big audience? Man, please. That's my forte. And but yeah, it's like it was wild out there. They had a lot of stuff going on that day. Let's see what we got here. What does his brother say? Sorry for bothering you. I'm not even going to run that. I'll deal with you another time, brother. I want to offer you promotion of your channel viewers, and I'll put it up. It's what the brother was saying, and about management and stuff like that. I understand. I feel you on that, and I appreciate you hitting me up on that. But I'll get back to you later at another time. And yeah, so yeah, Chucky Chuck. Interested individual. He's in real estate. Does a lot of things. Money Marv, producer. He's a promoter, and we do a podcast together as well on Saturday nights. And he does the Money Marv report, and DJ Marvissimo, and I did an interview with him called Interviewing the Interviewer, and it was interesting. It went good, and I was show on Saturday night. I don't think we're hitting tomorrow. I spoke to him earlier this week. He said he's got some business with his son, and we should hit next week. So, he's going to see his son and visit him in Connecticut and whatever, take him to Connecticut. I'm not 100% sure, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, so it was interesting with Money Marv, huh? And our gig together is called the Money Marv G Money Show. And we do Saturday night from 8 to 9:30. We did a couple of shows that were like almost 3 hours long. We got some decent views out of that. And, it was interesting. It was funny, engaging. We have conversation as well. I keep it 100. He keeps it 100. There's two different personalities, but we mesh, we come together, and we got good chemistry. And I have fun doing it. I like it. And so that's what's going on there. Now, I got a whole, listen, I want to give everybody their props. And I got all the way in the back. I got this and on the back. But I'm going to run through this kind of quick, and then I'll come back and then elaborate on the people that I haven't elaborated on tonight. I have Dr. Linda Humes, huh? And she's a personal friend. She's like a sister of sorts, because I met Linda through Eddie Prather. And Linda has her own, she's the owner of Yafa Productions. She's an educator and a producer, and she's heavy, she's deep. And there's that Yafa with cultural. It's cultural arts, shop for cultural arts. That's what it's called. And if I'm wrong, Linda, please correct me, and I'll come back and do a correction on that. And I'll have Sunga of the Valley. Huh? Sunga is a percussionist. He played with, he learned from Oba Babatunde, protege of Oba Babatunde. It's bad. If you Google that brother and you don't want anything about percussions, that's who you want to learn from or study from. You go on YouTube, check his stuff out. Even Sunga of the Valley, percussionist, master percussionist. These cats are no joke, heavyweights. I know Sunga through Eddie, through Linda, and I know him a long time. He's a good brother, a spiritual cat, no question about it. So Sunga. Then I had Roz Nixon. And Roz is a producer of events. I always fashioned her as a socialite. I met Roz when we were uptown together. She did a lot of productions and stuff. And through the Cotton Club, she has her own. I remember her going to Miami, all over the place, doing her productions and putting on plays and stuff like that. And I think she even did some stuff at the Cotton Club, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day. And Roz got crazy connections. I mean, everybody like in not only Harlem, but Midtown, all throughout Manhattan, Roz knows what's going on. As I said, I always fashioned her as a socialite. And then Sedan, the God of Sound, huh? Yeah. Sedan is a hip hop cat, but he's more than that. He's a lyricist as well. He's very prolific. He has bars. And, it was a pleasure having him on the show and pleasure meeting him as well. I heard some of his stuff, but I was thoroughly. I seen him at that platform that I was telling you about that Chucky Chuck puts on, Lamont Baker. Every year, Springfield's coming up this year. And he was impressive as far as he had great stage presence. And then I liked what he was, how he was laying it down and putting it out there. And then I have Karen Bowden. She's an A&R that manages. She actually manages Sedan and has several other groups. But, I had Karen on, and Karen broke down a lot of stuff, with in the business. She's been in the business and behind the scenes. She's done some community theater and stuff like that. So she's got some acting chops as well. I had the real Bonnie Chambers, from Chi-Town. Yes. Bonnie has her own podcast, and she's also very prolific as far as being in the scene and on the scene, if you will, because she has a daughter. Her daughter, she has a daughter. She has, I think, 2 sons as well. She's 3 kids. But her daughter was also on the show, Aaliyah Straighten Them Out Johnson. Straighten Them Out, I like that name. And she sent me a tape, and I checked it out. I peeped it, and the tape was very, very thorough. I was surprised at how skilled she is and how much she knows about the fight game. She is a scientific fighter, meaning she, knows and understands boxing, the fight game. 16 years old. Straighten them out. Yeah. Aaliyah straighten them out. And I looked at her, I said, damn, she looks a little bit like Mayweather. She faints, slipping and slide, keeps everything off the left, backs it up, left, right, good combinations. Then she got a right hand coming in with that right hand lead when the girls are not, off balance, because listen, if you got a good jab, they're going to be looking for that left. That if you're, a right-handed fighter, right? But then if someone leads with the right, that's a southpaw. That's it's not awkward. unconventional to some degree, because if a right-handed fighter's fighting a left-handed fighter, sometimes they step on each other's foot, that kind of, they get mixed up. But yeah, she's got that all figured out. She got that down. She looked like Mayweather in some instances. She kind of has her style like Tank uh, Davis, Giovanni Davis, Tank Davis. Yeah, so uh, she's good, very skilled. So that's Aaliyah Johnson. Then I have Mustafa Majid. Mustafa. Mustafa was uptown. What Mustafa used to do back in the day, he used to roll up on construction sites and then movie sets where they didn't employ blacks. If there were no blacks on the movie sites or on the construction sites, blacks and Latinos, Mustafa would get a bus load of blacks and Latinos and show up and shut it down. And by the time they left, you can bet that blacks and Latinos was employed. Huh? He's out in Philadelphia and he's running for council person. Mustafa was on the show, and it was an interesting gig because he's got a movie called The Groundbreaker, and it's really a movie about his life. His life story about how he shut down these construction, and he'll tell you who he rolled up on the movie sets. They didn't have any blacks, behind they didn't have to be employed acting and that kind of thing. He was talking about camera work, holding a boom mic, stuff like that, because them cast men, they made good money, they made good bread, the union workers and stuff like that. And he said, why should we be left out, especially construction workers too? I don't know what they get, like, depending on what you're doing. You made good money, made bank. But yeah, so that was Mustafa Majid, the groundbreaker. You can look that up, Google that. And like I said, I know Mustafa for a minute. Everybody on here, to some extent, I have a relationship with or had a relationship, no question still. Mark Cabaroy is a writer, director, producer, and actor. Mark acts. Mark and I go all the way back. Uh, Kevin and I went to high school together. That's Kevin Jordan. But Mark and I went to elementary school together, huh? Yeah. Like I said, it's funny how life is, uh, works out and stuff. And I have another good friend in the business, Mark Cheatham. And I had to hit Mark up. He didn't get back to me yet. It happens. He's busy, whatever. He's out in Cali doing his thing. God bless him. But yeah, I would love that. I would love to have Mark on, because Mark and I, even outside of the business and stuff like that, we have a relationship, as far as like, from the hood. We're from the same neighborhood, the Ville. I'm from what they call the ghetto in Flushing and Queens. They called it, they named it the ghetto, and then we used to go where he lived, the Ville, was a few blocks away, and played him in basketball and stuff like that. Mark's a pretty decent ball player at the time. I think he went to Jamaica. But yeah, so we challenged him and stuff like that. But Mark Cheatham, he was Usher's manager for a minute, for a little while. I don't know how many years. It was 6, 7 years, something like that. I don't know if he was, Usher was still, I know he was at that P. Diddy flavor camp when he was like 10 years old, which is crazy. Why his mother let him go to that house, now she had to know that this grown ass man had a reputation back then. You know me? So, that was a bad choice, a bad judgment call as far as I see, to let him, experience that. Um, it's just so many questionable choice and decisions. You want your boy or your your kid to come up, to make it. You're living vicariously through them sometimes, but you're feeding him, You know what I'm saying? You throwing them to the wolves, it's not a good look. Justin Bieber got caught up in that thing too. I think Usher took Justin to Diddy, and Diddy's going through his trials and tribulations now. Is he guilty of what they say that he did? The jury's out. We'll see. You know, do I have my views and take on that? It's just an opinion or whatever. I mean, I don't know. So I can't comment on what this man allegedly did or didn't do. I don't know. But they raided his house. So is it looking good? Nah, it's not looking good for P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, whatever moniker that he goes by, whatever name it is. But he's a black man. And, they seem to tend to come for us. When I say they, a lot of times it's just with Bill, with OJ, with West, you know what I'm saying? Jonathan Majors, but we do get ourselves into situations and jam and get jammed up and caught up in it or whatever. But you know, we'll see what happens with Puffy. I had Van Silk. Van Silk is a legend in the hip hop. People who know that name know, his cat is no joke. He's what is called a truth Syrian, if you will. He keeps it 100. He knows more about hip hop back in the day, from day one, because he was there. He's from Sedgwick in the Bronx, Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx, right around where Melly Mel, he even did a movie with Melly Mel, one of those, what is those things? Forget the name of it was a franchise that they did, but he was in I'm trying to think of Bubba Smith. Was in it? It's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, Melly was in, Van Silk was in that. He also had a rap album that he put out, and it was pretty decent. Not aside from with him and Melly Mel that they collabed on it. Promoter, producing, extremely knowledgeable. I wrote down very knowledgeable, extremely knowledgeable. Like I said, he knows everyone from day one that's doing anything in the game. I had Maurice. Mo is crazy. He's a veteran comedian. That's my boy. We did a lot of gigs together, a lot of shows, and Mo knows everybody, has worked with everybody. You mentioned somebody, he worked with them. It's like my boy Ronnie Wilkerson. Ronnie's out of White Plains. Ronnie, I mean, literally has knows and worked with everybody. And he was another one that extremely knowledgeable in the comedy game. And Steve Solis, another veteran, another legendary seasoned actor, comedian, promoter, writer, and you name it. Steve has done it. And funny dude, funny man. And I had the Almighty Force brothers on. And Big Sean and his brother, Supreme Raheem, huh? Round of applause for them. Yes. Very prolific musically, old school flavor, old school joints, all about that. And the Clientele brothers, Mikey D, Will Seville, Eddie O.J., huh? Yes. Another collaboration, another group that's very prolific. And I had my nephew on, Bam Boogie. Yes, Bam Boogie. That's my man. He's, got his feet wet doing this thing. Gonna have him back on, when he can make time and, hear what he's got going on, what he's got planned. Yeah, and real brief about the Clientele brothers. The style that they have, as far as like putting it together, the collaboration between them three, the bars and stuff. Yo man, it's for me, it's just so entertaining and so interesting to watch. because you're watching a bit of history, like the flavor of it. And I love it. I had Pancho, the Puerto Rican bad boys, a personal friend. And Ponch was down with with Chucky Chuck and the Springfield platform and the whole thing, and we chopped it up. It was very good, nice. And I thank Poncho for coming on for that. I had Lady Miz M-I-Z. Huh? She's a songstress extraordinaire. She's a rapper. She's from the Ground Up Productions with her and her husband, Ray, called Ray the Silent Assassin. But yeah, Lady Miz has bars. She's from K Slay. Um, she's got her stuff together as far as like not only singing, with a beautiful voice, but she can spit. She can rap as well. And had Lot Picasso and Lot. There's another one with bars and stuff, original content, originality is what I like because that's the school I'm from. Whatever you're doing or whatever, trying to be you. Give them you. Huh? You're on the podcast or whatever, give them you. You singing, give them you. Do your homework. Like my boy Cal Whitfield, Coach Whitfield, he always says, be a student of the game. And I'm with that. I profess that. I always appreciated that. Be a student of the game. When I was coaching with him out there, I asked some of these young kids, I was like, if you run it back, I said, do you know who Barry Sanders is? I said, he said, who? I'm like, uh-oh. But you know what? They only know what they know, the generational stuff, like these young rappers, they don't know, if you say Eric B. and Rakim, you say, now Public Enemy, they probably know Public, or they should know Public Enemy. You see what I'm saying? But they might not. But if you playing football, you don't know who your running back, you don't know who Barry Sanders is, or you don't know who OJ is, Marcus Allen. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you be a student of the game. And it's like linebacker. You don't know who LT is, Lawrence Taylor is, Lewis, huh? Ray Lewis. You should know them. Ray's a little bit more update than LT, but LT is the best that ever did it at his position, in my opinion. And yeah, but yeah, so be a student of the game. I had Dr. Mike Spinacos on in the chiropractic field. He was also our team on the sidelines, so that's where I met Dr. Mike. I had the pleasure of working with, actually interviewing Stevie D. Lundy. Yeah, Stevie D. Yes, from the Force MDs. I get a little emotional like when I can hear that song Tears, get choked up. House is, is a home. And with him and his brothers, and condolences to, Antoine. And it was just so much loss, that he suffered, him and his family had went through, and it's just, but he's still on tour now with his brother Khalid and his cousin, Kassan, and they're doing their thing, and what the harmonizing and beautiful voices, man. I don't make them like that anymore. And Carol Johnson, she used to, so a friend as well with the Marvelettes. Carol, was a beautiful angelic voice, and she blessed me and graced my show with her, with her essence and everything. And I appreciate her. Very classy, as I said, a beautiful voice, angelic, I call it. And here we go. I had additional notes there. It's Belinda Trout. I wrote her name down twice. I had already discussed her with the Blown Wolf magazine, Hair Hype, and Molicity. That was the other magazines. And as I said, she authored 4 books. I have Kane Notto from South. Cat is another one that has original content, original bars and stuff. He's out of Georgia, and he does his thing. And I appreciated him, and it was a beautiful thing. I think we did about an hour and 20 minutes. Kang Nardo and Dwayne Kennedy, his brother's funny. Dwayne is just he's I want to play a clip of his real quick because this guy is noteworthy. He should have made it 20 something years ago. I mean, he did the Letterman show, had specials and stuff like that. But I mean, Dwayne should be a big star. Yeah. Let me get into that section there. I want to play this clip. It's funny as hell. He's funny. Very talented, very skilled. I had him and Steve Solis on. And the hell, where am I at? Yeah, it has him and Steve Solis, and they chopped it up. And they also had a show that they brought me on. I performed uptown in Harlem, and it was good because I used to work for Steve back in the day. He had a spot called the Western Cafe in uptown, not Harlem, right over by Columbia, right across from Columbia on 100, I think 13th on the west side. And he had a lot of cats that came through there. Chappelle, that's where I met Dwayne as well. And then Lance Crothers. Lance was a good friend with Chris Rock. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, Pootie Tang, but Lance was in that because Steve and Dwayne are from Chicago, both from Chi-Town. And here's Dwayne Kennedy.
Let white folks have it, man. Just right out the gate. Just, Let me tell you something. Your pathological greed and compulsive need for control has been the single most source of pain and misery for people of color throughout this world for generations. But I try not to say things like that anymore. Because I found once you have said something like that to a white person, you almost never get a second date. You know what I mean?
Wayne Kennedy. Great stuff. A little short bit with him. At that picture, that's his comedy album and stuff. He looked like, remember Good Times? Mike Evans. Looked like a young Mike Evans, a young Dwayne Kennedy. And that's another Chicago reps, right? Yeah, Steve Solis and Dwayne, Lance, and those three from Chi-Town. And this clip here, I love too.
Is making his debut with us tonight. He was voted best stand-up comedian at this year's Aspen Comedy Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Please welcome Dwayne Kennedy. Oh, Dwayne.
Thank you. What's poppin'? How you feeling? I feel good too. Thanks for asking. I've been reading the Bible, and this is what I have learned is 2 things that they talk about in the Bible a lot. Wine and stuff that's hard to believe. I think the wine came first. And then thus, ergo, comes all the stuff that, is kind of, You know, because you know how sometimes, man, you'll be drinking wine with a group of friends or, you know, some apostles, and a story will just start getting away from you. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I remember yesterday I saw like a dog or like a beast. When he had 1 or 7 heads, and the bush was on fire and talking to me. I'm drunk. But you can quote me on that. I hear you writing a book. I'm not real religious, man, but I do like gospel tunes. I like Negro spirituals, you know what I mean? I like Negroes with spirits, you know what I mean? I like Swing Low, Sweet Cherry. That's a brilliant song, man, but you have to listen to it because it had more than one meaning, you know what I mean? It was not just an ethereal aspiration to God. It also meant get ready because we get ready to get out of here. You know, that was the code. It was like swing low, sweet chariot. You know, the Underground Railroad is coming to carry us home, you know what I mean? Or to Detroit or wherever it is you want to be dropped off, you know. And you got to think, it took a brilliant mind, man, to be able to write a song on that many levels, you know, because you know it was probably a lot of slaves who tried to write spirituals. You know what I mean? But just wasn't really that good at concealing the message. And they'd be like, hey, Joshua, won't you sing that spiritual I hear you've been working on? All right, Mouser. Tonight at 8:30, gonna get some shovels and bash white folk in the head. What time? 8:30. Joshua's songwriting career over. But now people trying to find something, all right? People searching since whatever happened, you know what I mean? Searching for God or searching for Osama or, you know. Since they done offered $25 million reward, more people searching for Osama than God, you know what I mean? And now we're at war, you know. Not with a country, we're at war with an ideology. Which is weird, man, because the only intriguing part about war, man, with the United States is you always see the new stuff that the United States has developed to wipe you out. Because it's not war, not like it used to be. Remember, war back in the day used to have some character, some flavor. Like, you remember, we probably don't remember this, but like the Revolutionary War? Right back then, you got a little music with your war. You know what I mean? Dude on drums, dude on fife, you know what I mean? Just little background music while you're getting shot. You know, even the Civil War, they had a dude out there on bugle when you got there, you know. Welcome to the war. This next tune I wrote in Paris. I call this one Charge. Dude behind him playing bass. I don't know how we got this gig. But now, man, everything's high tech, you know? Everything is smart weapons, as opposed, it used to be like just hope weapons. You know, send a missile off, hope it would hit something. Right? Then the Persian Gulf War came out. Remember that? And the smart weapons, remember that? Tomahawk missile, remember that? Flying this high off the ground, through the streets, dodging buildings, looking for your house. Any of you kids seen Dwayne? He lives right down the street, Mr. Missile, sir. All right, thanks. Stay in school. All right, you all. Thank you very much.
Dwayne Kennedy, huh? Material. original content and funny. Brother's funny. This last clip real quick. This is
like his only hit. Different type of show than I expected, man. You know, and I'm glad. I hope it's a different type of show than you expected. You know, a bit, because you know what I mean. Sometimes people see like black comedians and stuff, and they think, oh man, it's gonna be like, I can't wait. He's gonna be talking about everybody. He's gonna be talking about that dude. Hey, talk about his head. Talk about that brother right there. He can't walk. Talk about him. I don't like to do that, man. And it kills me when you see like black comedians who come on sometimes and they come out like, and they'll dog out the audience, but then they'll try to slip in some social commentary. Yeah, those brothers kill me. Be like ignorant with a message. They'll come out like, God damn, I'm in this motherfucking house. Look at all these motherfuckers here. Look at where all my niggas at. Look at all these motherfucking niggas right here. Look at this black ass bitch right here. This funky black ass, nasty, stanky, skank, funky nasty, funky stank, nasty, black funky stank, nasty black bitch right here. Funky black, and speaking of nasty, funky stank bitches, we got to love our sisters, because they queens. They queens. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying. This bald-head black motherfucker right here. Bubble-lip motherfucker. No job having government cheese receiving motherfucker right. Pussy-eating motherfucker right here. And speaking of eating pussy, ladies and gentlemen, it's too many kids going to bed hungry at night. All right, thank you all. I'm done.
Yes. Huh? Dwayne Kennedy. Funny brother. And yeah, I wanted to just close it out. You know, the guest with I had Harris Stanton on. It's another funny comedian, very funny man. And I have a clip on him, you know, and everybody's got their own style. You know, it's like music or whatever. You should have your own style, rapping, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it should be something that separates you, you know, from the next person. If you come up and you're doing what the person before you did, or she did, he did, or whatever, similar type style or whatever, it doesn't stand out. Sometimes you ask audiences like, what do you remember? Who was on? Who did you see last night? You can't even tell you. You know, what did he talk about? What did she talk about? They don't know. But, you know, you should have that. You should have that. So Harris Stanton, and this is his clip.
I got drafted by the Chicago Cubs in 1996 in the 56th round. It's pretty low. Matter of fact, I got drafted so low by the Cubs, when I got the phone call, it was collect. I swear to God, I got a collect phone call. But you don't care. I was excited. Immediately went down to spring training down in West Palm Beach, Florida. Yeah, sat the bench. I was like, wow, coach, I can't even play at practice? You do know this is training camp. Can't get in any practice drills or nothing. I don't know if anybody here ever played like a high school, college sport and you set the bench most of the time. You know exactly the mentality I was going through. You start the season like everybody else, excited. Yeah, I'm getting some games, I'm gonna hit some home runs. And after a while, you don't get any games, you kind of sell into your position mentally, right? I lost my glove halfway through the season. I ain't even bothered about new. I didn't even look for it. No one even noticed I was missing a vital piece of being a base. No one cared. I stopped caring. I stopped wearing my cleats to the field. I just wore my tennis shoes and flip-flops. I didn't care. I would order pizza in the 7th inning with that dugout phone. Hey, coach, what you want on your slice? Cut the crap, Stanton. Get your head in the game. My head, what about the rest of my body? That would love to get in the game. My mom's at every home game watching me eat sunflower seeds all 9 innings with a video camera. And I was 18 when I got drafted, man, so I was young and dumb. I went and got a stupid baseball tattoo on my right arm like a jackass because I thought it was going to be my career, and I was just there. and people always ask, why you got a stupid baseball tattoo on your arm? Now I got to explain my failures in life. I got a microphone on my left arm, so I really hope this comedy thing work out. I'm not getting no UPS truck tattooed anywhere.
Yes, indeed. Harris Stanton. And different styles. His own material, tells his story. That kind of thing is funny. And the thing about Harris, I got to mention, or didn't mention, was that he was in that car accident with Tracy Morgan. He was on tour with Tracy and Uncle Jimmy Mack, James McNair, and Artie Fuqua, another comedian. I know I've worked with Artie, and Uncle Jimmy and I did, tons of shows, as well as Tracy. And I know I met Tracy Morgan through Uncle Jimmy Mack, through James McNair, and James McNair was one of the passengers of that tour bus, that Mercedes tour bus that was hit by, I think, a Walmart truck, and Uncle Jimmy, he died, he perished. And Harris was in that, and he broke his arm was broke. He said he ended up when they had the tinted out, they had a big Mercedes-Benz van coming from a show from Jersey on the Jersey Turnpike, and didn't even know. That's got to be the worst way. Not knowing, that there's a vehicle behind you or whatever just happens. And then Harris said he ended up in the front with Tracy, on Tracy's lap. Kind of thing, broke his arm. And Uncle Jimmy, I guess it was the vehicle was a mangled wreck, the Mercedes. But yeah, that's Harris Stanton. And he told that story, and also played. It was a news interview clip that I had played about the wreck. And let me see if I still have that. Let me play that and close it out with that. Yeah.
Let white folks have it, man. Just right out the gate. Just, Let me tell you something.
No, I guess I took that down. I removed that as Steve I replaced there. But I had an interview with Harris, and let me see if this is it.
Enough is enough.
No. But that's the show tonight. And I just wanted to thank all the previous guests, prior guests, and I got some good shows coming down the pipe. I'm going to have Arthur Garfield. He said he want to come in May. Artie is an old friend as well, and he's excellent writer, producer, and funny man, funny guy, Artie. I know him as Artie. We lived in the same building. And he was in that movie with Damon Wayans, More Money, right? Like that thing. He's done a lot of videos with the hip hop, the Rap Cats, and several other movies. He wrote a book about Bill Cosby, which was his protege. He was everything. And, best-selling book. But Arthur be on to talk about that, Arthur Garfield. And I'll have Maurice and Chill Mo back, and some other guests. But I want to thank you for tuning in with me. And with me, my thing is I catch it on the back end, the views and stuff like that. I used to come on Wednesday, I say used to because I haven't came on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock and a month or so, 2 months, or maybe longer than that. I might come on in the afternoon or whatever when I promote it, get a decent audience or whatever. But I'm not caught up with the views and all of the other stuff. I've never been a traditional individual, to play it that way. You understand what I'm saying? But I enjoy doing what I do. And as I said, I got some stuff coming down the pipe, and I just wanted to, get on air and then voice some stuff, express some stuff, and show some gratitude. Like I said, my condolences to Mr. C's, and then to OJ as well. Goes out, and rest in peace. Again, Rome, thank you. God bless you. Love you, brother. And I'll talk to you shortly. I want to tell people, if stay positive, stay up, stay focused. And if you love someone, right, don't be afraid. Tell them you love them. Always, because you don't know, That's what. So keep that in mind, And you can't be in the wrong if you're doing the right thing. Stay up, stay positive, and persistence always overcomes resistance. Keep God first and foremost. God, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God bless you. Peace. George Mason Show, baby. Good night.